Hey guys, so Inferno is probably the hardest map to retake if the other team knows what they're doing. So we're going to be looking at after plant positioning and how you can play both these sites. Probably one of the easier maps to do it on, but you want to make sure you're doing it correctly, just the other team definitely can't get in, and once they know they can't get in, they're probably going to just start saving for the rest of the game, like they do at higher level play a lot of the time, even in like 3v3s and stuff. The CT side will just decide to save. So an important thing here is Phelps comes back and clears out Banana, getting rid of one of the three choke points that the other team can push through. Obviously only two of them are live, so this is quite an important thing. So they can set up kind of a crossfire onto CT here. Cold knows he has to peek out, be the aggressor. He's kind of stuck and he's able to get both kills. Say he did get peeked from CT first, which is unlikely. They're more likely to peek down towards Banana. Phelps is in a position to trade that kill, then putting him into a 1v1. A more aggressive setup. Important to note again, Cold wasn't too passive. Important that he peeked out, got the information of the player coming out of ruins, and in this situation he got the kill. Definitely not what you'd call a normal kind of setup, but definitely one that can work with good communication and good timings between the two players left alive. And more of a traditional setup now, 3v4 in the favour of North, retaking config with nice little spray through the smoke, something you can do if you're the CT side. So Moddy's just come up Banana, so he knows there can't be anyone flanking really soon. You see a player is coming up, a KGB is flanking. So he's aware of this, he's holding this. Juggy also in the pit position, and then Nico in a more of a stable position on site. So Moddy decides to go through the smoke. Maybe they felt like they had to try and do something because they had a man disadvantage. Ends up getting one kill, he ends up getting traded out pretty quickly. Juggy knows the Banana push is possible, and he gets the kill. So if I pause it here quickly, you see Nico's ready for this push by Magisk. He knows they have to clear out this pit position where Juggy is, and it's most likely going to be done by pushing through CT. Config can't really do it, it's way too risky for him to jump up and peek down into the pit there with his whole back turned to sight. So he swings out very smartly to cover off Juggy from getting shot. And that's the round over. So very smart double peek, he knows what else to do, and then he keeps peeking out to get config. He might not have had to do that, but he did, and I think either way he would have won. Say he does die, Juggy can move himself into a position where it's basically impossible for the round to be won with such little time left on the clock. So last clip for B here now, you see just something I wanted to point out was Kenny faking that they smoked off the coils, puts them in a 2v2 situation after plant. So he's got control of the connector, not the connector, the construction or ruins position, and he's able to just walk up here and he's just getting information, which is important in a 2v2, especially as I was talking about before. There's the three choke points you've got to worry about, and he kind of confirms there's probably two players there. See MBK peeks out, and you see here they go for a double peek again, just like the last clip. Good flash comes in though, which ends up getting Kenny killed. But the thing to take away from this is they're going for these double peeks. And that's because onto the CT position here, it is so easy to go for the double peek safely. And the reason this peek is so effective is because they've got so many angles to watch when they're pushing through this CT position. If you double peek, you can double peek from here because of this pillar, it's covering you from the ruins angle. If you're playing new box, the player can double peek out this right hand side of that, exposing themselves. And then of course, as it was in this situation, you can get the player in mini pit or barbecue, or just pushed up aggressively to double peek like this, which makes CT the most likely and the easiest spot to peek without exposing yourself to too many angles. Besides that, with the two-man setup, obviously with con control, that's the dream, but can be a bit harder to get into here confidently, knowing the CTs haven't rotated in. You can play two guys in Banana. Just double peek when you hear the bomb tapped, or just double peek together or something. Again, a lot of double peeking, or some people like to crossfire this. I don't really like that option because you can easily get naded out, and the most likely spot the CTs are going to throw nades as those two positions there. Just quickly back to that first clip with Cold playing this pushed up position. You might think it's a bit of a weird one. The reason I don't mind it is because of the way CTs normally retake through CT. So normally they might come up here, they'll clear out anyone maybe holding an oranges angle or something, anyone holding a new box. Anyone back of sight. They won't usually come and swing out to this kind of angle. They'll normally be backing off here to clear off Banana, and that's why I don't mind that position from Cold, and I actually think it worked out quite well. Obviously hit the headshots, but I still like it, especially since, I can't remember who it was, but they lost their fight here with the guy pushing through CT, and Cold's still able to win it. So moving on to the A site now, a little bit easier to retake, but still very difficult. So this first clip here, you'll see the bomb goes down, device is covering the angle from Diggity or short. You see they set up this very strong crossfire here. Device is able to watch the wrap from Moto, and this spot from Glaive is able to watch both the push out balcony and the push from short. So this is exactly what happens here. Device is able to peek out and get this first kill onto the guy Arch. And then you see Glaive's able to spot him coming out the balcony. Device ends up finishing him off, but still very simple stuff, a very strong crossfire. That position on top of the box is a very strong position. You can also play it from a little bit more to the left, and it becomes a little bit more of an off angle, but I'll show you guys that in a second. Now we've got another clip here with 2 guys left on A. Again, it's Device alive, but this time it's a 2v3. This time another good crossfire, both players in the pit, they can watch both angles. Device here now watching the short position, while Kirby is watching more towards Moto. And you'll see here again, Device misses his shot, and this could get a little bit difficult for them, but he ends up playing this smoke very nicely. And this is a misplay, well, not really a misplay, but it's just Device playing the smoke really well. And this isn't really after playing positioning, this is just more adapting to what you have to do. He knows that with a 3v2 and the players pushing in after he missed those first 2 shots, he has to reposition and get in their face a little bit, and that's exactly what he does. He's not scared to get aggressive and ends up winning them around. Another instance here where they're not scared to get aggressive is Phelps is pushed up here. I don't really like this position. I don't think he kind of got stuck here because he couldn't cross the site because of the AWPer and library. So he ends up getting picked off and ends up being a 2v2. I really like Cold's position here. This is an aggressor's position. Also Fallen is peeking, that's really good. So with this first flash, Cold's able to just peek out. Second one, he peeks out, kills the other guy. And this position Cold's in is perfect for just peeking out like he did with the flashes. I think he crossed here for a reason. I think Fallen might have called this. I obviously can't prove anything. And the thing with this spot is there's kind of like 3 steps to it. So the first spot you can peek is here and you're not really exposing yourself to anywhere else. Then you can peek out here and you're exposing yourself to 2 angles. Or you can peek up here and you're exposing yourself to 3 angles, or like this, either way. And this is a really good position. You have multiple players alive. Obviously a more aggressive setup ended up being a 2-man setup with Fallen, but this position can work really well. Obviously all the on-site positions, as I was talking about before, with Glaive you can play this and watch this, but if you want to make it more of an off angle, you can move to the back of this box, and if you don't fall off, you see you can get anyone pushing Diggity here, or as you see the balconies there, they can't actually get off balcony without you seeing them. Obviously be aware if they try and slip in here, but yeah, that's the options with that. Another thing, Fallen playing here, he plays this really well. He's off holding this kind of angle. He's trying to get a peek. He's not just hiding. It really annoys when players sitting here and they just will hide here and then wait. Oh, they've tapped the bomb. He won't peek till the bomb's tapped. Play at this angle at a minimum. This is probably the perfect angle to hold. You can get anyone pushing onto site. Really strong angle from apps there. Besides that, obviously the crossfire and pit works well because you can watch both angles, similar to the first clip I showed, and yeah, crossfires are really effective on this map. It's not quite as easy as to double peek places like it is on the B site. Sorry, you can kind of do it if you're sure there's no one here. You can kind of get 2 players to peek off pit or something, but not always a good idea because if they are just holding, only 1 player can see them at certain angles. I think it's better with the A site to set up lots of crossfires because there's so many boxes on site, so many angles to check, and obviously with pit and apps involved, it becomes really difficult for the CTs to clear it all out. And yeah guys, that's about it. Thanks for watching, make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later.